Good evening, everybody, and another very hot evening, and welcome to the viewers coming in on the live. And for those of you, now I'm going to have to work out what day it is. I believe it's the 25th. I think it's the 25th. Yes, so if you're watching on the replay, this is being recorded on Tuesday, the 25th of June. And if I've got that wrong, I'll have to correct it. But I think it's the 25th. Laura, is it the 25th today? I was I was getting confused there, trying to remember what day it was. Is it the 25th? I think it's the 25th, isn't it? So 23rd, 24th, 25th. Yes. No, is it the 26th? I don't know. Somebody tell me what day it is. I've lost track. Hi, Carl. Nice to see you. I'm trying to remember what the date is today, so anyone can prompt me with the date. Is it the 25th or the 26th? Hi, Paul. I seem to have lost a day. I've spent a few days staying at home and not going out, and I can't remember what day is it. Is it? She's lost track of the days and dates as well. I think it's, well, Saturday was the 23rd, wasn't it? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Oh, it's the 26th. It must be the 26th. So somewhere I lost today. Yes, Laura. I said at the beginning, I said it was the 25th. So I will confuse anybody watching on the replay, even if I've confused everybody here too. So anyway, tonight, I have decided I am not, hi Ian, I am not going to touch the camera tonight, because anybody who was in the broadcast last night knows that we ended up in a heap of laughter because I moved the camera to show you something on the screen, and it just, oh, excuse me, just got something funny going on with my throat. Hang on a sec. Whoopsie, then I spilt my drink. That's not very good, is it? Okay. So I moved the camera to show you. Hi, Ian. I moved the camera to show you Bill and Ben last night, and when I put it down, it decided to move the wrong way. Hi, Andrew. So the whole broadcast, I know, my neck was aching by the time I'd finished. It was funny. I was laughing. I laughed a lot. I don't know why it did it. And just now, when I put the camera on just now, it did a bit of going like that, and I wasn't sure which way it was going to end up before I pushed the go live button. So let's see. I'm going to leave it alone. All right. Hi, Sarah. So I'm not going to touch the camera, and then we won't have the same shenanigans we had last night. Hi, Gemma. Long time no connect. Gemma is somebody I know from way back. Nice to see that Facebook connects us and brings us back together sometimes. So anyway, I've had another day at home. I'm having quite a few days at home at the moment. Well, for me, I think probably it's best anyway when it's this hot, because I don't really do the heat very well. But I decided to stay at home and try and get some of this knitting done that I'm going to exhibit in the county show. So that was partly it. I didn't have any appointments organised this week. So I thought, oh, well, why don't I just stay indoors, do a few chores. I can do all my social media management from wherever I am, you know, because I do some people's accounts for them. So if I'm sitting at home in my chair, can your dolly have a happy birthday shout? Yeah, okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear dolly. Happy birthday to you. And if I had a candle, I would light it, but I haven't. And I don't think we ought to do something like that, or I'd probably end up setting the house on fire and having the fire brigade, knowing my luck. So anyway, so I've now lost what I was saying. I've gone off on a tack like I always do. Hi, nice to see you, Sarah. Long time no see. So yes, so I've been knitting. That's right. And in between my knitting, I do my social media stuff. So I can do a little bit of social media, and then I might knit an apple. Hasn't got its stalk on yet. So But then I'll do a bit more social media. So I hop between it. It's so easy to do because I do it all most of it from my phone. And so I can keep up with that. I haven't got confused between knitting patterns and social media yet. You know, so I do have to be careful which account I'm on, because I manage more than one account. Hi, Maureen. Maureen is a lovely lady, connected to me through We All Send Cards, and I was going to tell people about We All Send Cards tonight, because I am thrilled to bits that that John Paul, who set up the We All Send Cards business, he's put all sorts of documents in the website that's made it so easy to share the information now. So I will be talking about that. In fact, why don't I do it now? Because I was wanting. I've been a referrer with We All Send Cards since last end of September, I think, beginning of October, or end of October, beginning of November. Can't quite remember. And Maureen is one of the designers, aren't you? You are, yes, that's right. Yes, of course you are. And it's a lovely greetings card company. If you know Moonpig, you'll know the sort of thing. Only it's you want me to put a worm coming out of my apple? I'll have to see about that. I'll have a see. Anyway. I'm going to talk about the cards, and then I'll come back to the fruit and the veg. And I've got them in a fruit bowl now, so I'll show you all that in a minute. But what I wanted to do, I did want to talk about We All Send Cards. So if any of you send cards, and we are a nation who, yes, quite. We are a nation of people who, on average, send 33 cards each a year. So if you don't send many, then there would be other people who send a lot more. So on the whole, there should be being a lot of cards being sent. Now, I joined We All Send Cards last year. I'd been involved with the greetings card home-based business company before, but it sort of had hi Santa. It had a demise, and when it rose out of the ashes, I decided I didn't want to go with that company, because I'd found We All Send Cards. We All Send Cards is basically a on-demand greetings card company, and what happens is that you can, if you order, you can choose. There are now, well, there's well over 1,000 cards. I don't know, it's growing very fast. I think there are over 300 artists and photographers, some of whom I've introduced, and some of them are doing wonderful pictures of the Isle of Wight. So, in my neck of the woods, this really should go well if anybody wants to send a card that's from the island. But of course, people want all sorts of different cards, and it's nice to have so many choices. And if I don't find a card I want, I ask the designers to make it for me. So I've had 1 or 2 personally designed cards. You are able to also design your own card. Now, for example, it's my mum's birthday on Sunday, and tomorrow I shall be designing a card that's got photographs on it. But what's nice is you can choose from all the cards that are on the site, and you can personalize the inside, and you can design the outside. So, but what I noticed today, what I really like about this business is that it helps people, start to earn an income based, if you're based at home and you can't, get other work. It's something that you could do to fit around your family, which is great, but it's not on the old style model of the network marketing, where you work really hard and the people at the top earn all the money. Hi, Matt. And so with this scheme, it's so much fairer. But what I really like is that it supports charity. And I've been trying to explain that for some time. And today I saw documents on there. So let me explain to you about how it works, because I was getting a bit tongue-tied the other day. I'll put my link in a minute, but I'm going to read this where it says supporting charities. It says, let us know which charity you would like to support, and we will provide you with a link in the format, and then they'll give you a link that's specific to your charity. Every time that link is used to visit the site and a card is purchased, 48 pence will be donated to charity. Now that's an amazing amount of money being donated for one card to charity. And then the person who's doing that could even earn 6p each themselves for each card. But you know, the 48 pences will soon stack up if the supporters of the charity are told about it. So it's so easy. It's just, that's as easy as that. It says we pay the charity direct once a quarter and keep evidence that donations are being made. No administration or online registration required. No cost or requirement to buy cards to benefit. Just email us the charity name, number, contact email and referrer. That's, you know, the person who sent them. And we will email back a link and a flyer to share with those who might like to support the charity. By visiting the site, by clicking the unique link, we can identify who is buying cards to support the charity, and we can make the appropriate donations accordingly. Customers can buy as a guest. Hi, I'm up the right way tonight, Margaret, not touching the screen. Any of you who weren't in here last night, Margaret was, and she was really collapsing in laughter by the sounds of it, because I moved my camera and it rotated and it wouldn't let me put it up the right way. So I ended up the broadcast lying on my desk like this to try and be up the right way. But I'm not touching it tonight. I'm leaving it alone. It did do a funny right at the beginning of the broadcast as I was switching it on. It looked like it didn't know which way up it was going to go. Anyway, back to the cards. Customers can buy it as a guest or register as a customer. If the customer registers after clicking the link, then all future purchases will generate an additional 48p donation. Hi, Anne. A donation to the charity too. If they check out as a guest, you can continue to benefit if they click the link to visit the site in the future. Purchases from customers who have already registered prior to clicking the charity link would not generate a charitable donation unless they check out as a guest. So I just love the idea that, you know, if you let the charities know that are dear to your heart, all they have to do is get a link and tell their supporters, and for every card that's purchased, that's 48p. Those 48p will soon stack up, because most schemes where you get, hi Tony, most schemes where you get people supporting something for charity, you get teensy weensy bits. Tony, you might be interested in this. I'm talking about a scheme because Tony's supports the motor neurone disease, motor neurone. Oh my goodness, you know what I mean. I'm getting tongue-tied. Last night I was on my side on the broadcast. Tonight I'm getting tongue-tied. So that's just a quick recap. Anybody who wants to get their charity some donations for people who send greeting cards, and the greeting cards are excellent quality and a huge choice. And if you order by 1 o'clock, they're posted out the same day. So it's a pretty fantastic service, and it's, you know, it's becoming, you know, it was, Moonpig was the main player in this business, but, you know, we're fast catching up because John Paul and Leslie are working so hard to make this a business that actually counts for lots of people. So for supporting charities, every card that's sold, you know, if you get a charity link, then every card that's sold through the charity link is 48p to your charity. If you want to know about it, Tony, I can refer you afterwards. But I want to be able to help as many charities as I can, and there are lots of things here. There are other opportunities too. I have got the link for this page. Hang on, I'll tell you what. Just a minute, I've got to go and get it. I should have had it up, shouldn't I? Let me see, because I needed to check that I'd got the right link, because I'd had the wrong link earlier today. Wait a minute, let's have a look. Right, okay. Whoops, oh, hang on. Whoa. Let's see. Copy link address, there we go. Let's see. I'll better refresh the page because I haven't got the page up where I can drop it in. Sorry. Yes, so here we go. Oh, why has it done that? It's put all sorts of gobbledygook in. I'm not quite sure that's not, hang on. Ignore that, it's done gobbledygook. Let me, hang on. Sorry. Okay, I'll type it in. Whoa, I got a pile of books in the way because I've got my books that I'm going to read to you in a minute. Whoops. I don't understand when it does all that gobbledygook, do you? I'm sure my son, one of my sons is a coder. I'm sure he'll tell me why it does that, but I don't understand. It's getting there. Sorry. /learn/1694. Now this should be the right one. Let's see. Let me see if that's the right one. I'll click on it and see. Oh, it says this site cannot be reached. That's not very good. I'll have to do it again. I've obviously typed something wrong. Hang on. Why is it gone? I don't know what it's doing. I don't know why it's wrong. Okay. Oh, I think I know. I'm copying. I'm copying what John Paul told me, and I think he's put something in it wrong himself. Wait a minute. Let's have another go. Sorry, folks. This is not good. He's put the wrong word in. No, he's put we all sell cards, and I think it's weallsendcards.com. Sell is in one of the links some of the time. Let's see if this one works. I should have checked it, shouldn't I, before? But I assumed it was right. Let's see if this one works. Hang on, it hasn't gone to a live link. Let's see if it's going to the right place now. Yes, it looks like it's done it. That's it. Bingo. We're cooking on gas now. Okie dokie. So there we are. And if you follow that link, it will give you the different things. It will give you information for customers, information for charities, information for referrers. I'm a referrer. I'm also a customer myself. For resellers, there's an opportunity for people to resell. There's opportunity for business builders. And wait a minute, I'm a business, hang on. I'm a business builder, sorry. I'm not. Hi, Carl. And then there's opportunities for designers. So there's all different opportunities to do this. So you can actually earn an income yourself, or get an income for your charity, or both. Or if you're a designer, you can, and I have referred several designers to We All Send Cards. And it's lovely to see that they can get their work onto cards and out into the global, into it globally, and it doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't cost anything to join the business. There's so many good things about this, and what I like is John Paul's taken all the things that were not good about some of the multi-level marketing, where everybody works hard and only the people who own the companies really do well, and he's made it so that everybody benefits. I'm not going to read all the information there. It's all on that link. I've also got a We All Send Cards page. Let me just see if I can give you that link, and then I'll go on and do some other bits and bobs. So let me see. Sorry. No, computer's playing up again. I don't know. I think I have the reverse of the King Midas touch. Everything I touch goes the wrong way. It's not. It's got on a go slow. It's going to put a message up saying it's not responsive in a minute. So perhaps I'll leave it alone. I'll put that, if you want the link to my website, my Facebook page where I put up some of the designs of the cards. I mean, the link I put in earlier, that will take you to my website, and actually you can find lots of things there. Yes, it's doing strange things, so we'll just ignore it. And so, right. So that's all about the cards. So if you know anybody who's trying to raise funds for charities, do direct them that way, or direct them to me, and I can talk it through. If you know somebody who would like to build a business from home without having to pay out anything, without spending hours and hours and hours building it, I mean, it's not get rich. You do, you know, it builds up slowly, but the potential is there if you want to do it. So that's it. I'm now going to go on to the knitting. All right. So if you want to know any more, anyway, this morning in the post I had this, and this came from lovely Laura in the broadcast. No, Laura. No, it wasn't Laura. It was Leanne. Sorry. Oh, I do muddle you two up, but I suppose it's because it both starts with an L. So it was Leanne who, I don't know if she's in the broadcast. Leanne won a knitting book the other day, and in the knitting book she had a catalogue for some more knitting books, and she didn't want this, so sorry, Laura, I muddled you. So she sent it to me, and so there's some more knitting books in here. I've got my eye on quite a few. I've got quite a wish list at the moment. And earlier on, I was Googling because there's a knitted nursery rhyme book and a knitted fairy tale book that I desperately love to have. And I was trying to find them at less than £15 each. And I have found them cheaper. Some of them are used copies, so I've got to decide whether I want a used copy or whether I want a new one. And then I have found them cheaper, or one of them. I'm still, you know, let my fingers do the walking. So I've got to look at that because there's just such super patterns out there. And but you know, I've got more patterns than I can knit at anytime soon. But let me show you. As you know, as most of you know, I'm entering some items in the county show. So I've been looking at ways to display. And in Poundland, I found this nice cake plate, which might be part of my display. Sorry, I haven't yet sewn the strawberry on the top of the cupcake. But there we are. We've got some cakes. We've got a meringue. Oh, we've got a cupcake who keeps losing its strawberry. And we've got a strawberry tart that's only got one half strawberry. It needs its other strawberries on yet. But what I did, I knitted another one. Oh, there it is. I knitted 3 of these. So it needs 3. Hi, Fiona. It needed 3 strawberries, so I knitted 3. But in the evening, the light isn't so good, of course, and my eyesight's not as good as it was. And when I went to sew them on, these two, look, you can see now. I can see on there they're not the same colour. So I want the strawberries all to be the same colour. Otherwise, this one looks like it's starting to turn bad. So I'm going to have to knit another one. That one can do for something else. I'll make it do something else. And then today as well, look, in my fruit bowl, I've got some, well, you can't see very well. I got some fruit and I've got some veg in here. So today, oh, look, I haven't got the pear. Some of you have seen some of these. So I've done the pear already. Today, I've just done, or did I do this last night? I did the apple. I got to do its stalk yet, and then I did a lemon. Look, orange. So we can do oranges and lemons. The bells of St. Clement's, and then there's the pineapple. I still haven't finished his crown, but I've got some more leaves to make. I'm having such a ball here, and I don't know if anybody saw the aubergine last night. And of course I had the sweet corn. Some of them are not quite in proportion to each other because some of them have come from different books, and some of them I've knitted on the wrong size needles because I can if I want to. But I'll get it all into some semblance of order. And there's a cucumber. Look, so that's, as I had no fruit in my fruit bowl, I thought I'd put it in there. But I actually want to try and be more ambitious with it. And in fact, see this? Somebody gave me this the other day, and I'm wondering whether to use this as a prop. And maybe I really want to go the Carmen Miranda route, but Carmen Miranda didn't have a hat like this. She had a turban with all the fruit piled up. So I might do Carmen Miranda with a poetic license. Who knows? But I will. I've got, it's what I keep asking to see if anybody's got a wig stand. I asked my sister because I thought she might have, but she didn't. So I'm still after a wig stand if anybody's got one, because when I do the entry, whether I make it like this or whether I make it as a turban, of course, is going to be more difficult it's to pile all this fruit on. So if you don't know, Google Carmen Miranda. She had a hat that had all this fruit on. So that's what that's one of the things I'm aiming for. But the best I could come up with at the moment was this. So I don't know whether what you think. I could have strawberries. Hang on, where's it gone? Lost the strawberry now. Oh, I've lost my strawberry. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is. I could have strawberries hanging all around the edge, couldn't I? Instead of corks, I could do it that way. Who knows? Anyway, I shall have fun with the display. It's going to be a bit interesting because I'm going to be in London. Hi, Ian. I'm going to be in London just before the county show. And I'm going to have a tight turnaround to get back to do my displays. And I mean, I should be knitting while I'm in London, but I've got to get back and do the displays. And then I've got to get to the county show. So if there's anybody around who will feel very kindly disposed to me on, I think the display's got to go up on the Saturday, the 7th. So if there's anybody kindly disposed who has a car and would like to take me and all my knitted fruit and all the stuff I've done over to the county showground for Ride, that would be wonderful. If not, I shall pile it all into Lilac Lil and we'll go on the bus and I'll construct it when I get there, because that's the sort of thing I do, and I'm more than happy to do that. So anyway, at the moment there's not a lot in that fruit bowl, but there will be by next week. That's a big orange, but in the pattern it shows you how to leave a few rows out and make it a satsuma. So I better make a satsuma. There's a lemon, and I must make a lime to go with the lemon. So I'm having such fun with all this. And then today, I was chatting online to Billy. Billy's a councillor in Ventnor. Ian's a councillor in here. Ian's a county councillor, aren't you, Ian? And Billy is a town councillor in Ventnor, and he saw me on the bus the other day. I have told you this before, and I made him have a selfie with the pizza. And so today, when I was talking to him online, I was actually making a hot dog. I showed you that's a sausage. This is part of the bun, all right? So that's half the bun, and there's the hot dog. So let me show you the picture. That's what it looks like when it's done, a hot dog with mustard. But Billy hadn't seen that. I just said I was making I did. Did I say no? Before I sent the picture, he said, oh, I'd like mustard and onions with mine. So it's got mustard on there. Look, it's just some little chain stitching along there to look like mustard. But somewhere else, I've got a little pattern for knitting onion rings. So I shall make some onion rings to go with my hot dog. But I'm having such fun with it. But I know that it's going to entertain a lot of people. And as you know, I like to do that. And if you know, if you were in the broadcast last night, you will see, you know, we have a laugh. I don't know how many people are in here tonight who were in last night. But for those of you who've just come in now, I ended up doing the broadcasts on my side because the camera, when I moved the camera to show you something on the screen, to show you Bill and Ben on the screen. When I put it back over here, it wouldn't rotate back to where it was supposed to be. So it had tipped me up. So to correct it, I had to do the broadcast like this. And we had a lot of laughs. And Margaret there, who was in the broadcast, she said that she was running out of tissues. Now, I hope that was tears of joy rather than tears of sadness because I was so daft. But, you know, it's lots of fun. So this book is wonderful. This is my own copy now because the library wouldn't let me have it more than 10 times. So I had to buy my own copy. Lovely Leanne, who I referred to just now, who sent me the pamphlet for more knitting books. She researched, she Googled, and she found me a copy of this because it's a £15 book, but she found me a copy for £8 something. And actually, I have made already, I've only had this book a few weeks, I've made so many things out of this. And of course, we've got Wimbledon coming up, haven't we? So I'd have to make the racket and the ball there. And we got, you know, the tea party. I have done the cup and saucer before, but they went off to a cupcake sale. So I'm going to have to make more cups and a teapot because One of the categories is time for tea in the county show, and I want to do a strawberry tea. And I've got all sorts of things around strawberries to do, but I also might do another thing in there. I've got some other ideas. Depends how much I can execute in the time. The county show is on the 8th of July. It's less than 2 weeks away. Depends how fast I can knit and how much I can get done in the time. I started to make some flowers today. Oh, I made a flower, not the sunflower, because you've seen the sunflower. The sunflower I did, but I haven't taken it apart to put in some stronger wire, and we're a bit floppy here. But never mind. So that sunflower came out of this book. This design is really good. One of the flowers I tried to do today, it was going to take like hours just to make one flower. So I scrapped that idea because otherwise the county show will be here and I won't have much of an entry for in bloom. One flower in a pot's not going to do it, I don't think. But I do have some other ideas around that. I was thinking about something when we were talking about Bill and Ben, and we were reminiscing on our childhood, or some of us were reminiscing on our childhood, and some other people were tapping into our childhood because they're way younger than some of us. I was thinking about whether I could make a Bill and Ben, but I couldn't find a knitting pattern for Bill and Ben. I'm sure there is one somewhere, but I didn't find it. If anybody knows, hi Sandy, if anybody knows where there's a knitting pattern for Bill and Ben, let me know. But then I wondered whether I, did something around it anyway. I'm still working out what I'm going to do. So, until I've made more of the bits. I'm supposed to have put my ideas in. I sent some ideas in because I wanted to know the titles of the entries, and I sent some things in. Now I'm not sure what I sent in is what I'm actually going to do. So I might have to correct that. Hi, Mark. So anyway, this one is really coming into its own. And then I've got another one by this same lady, the one with all the little dolls in. There's another one that she does with topsy-turvy dolls. I'd love to get hold of that one. And that's where one end it might be Cinderella in her ball gown, and the other end it might be Cinderella as in cinders, by the fire. And so there's that one's great. I did go on the library website tonight to see whether they got any more in, and they do have the knitted pets by the same lady that's done these, and I just love her work. All her stuff is so easy. Some of it's a bit more complicated, but because I'm an experienced knitter, it's not what I would give you folk in here who I'm teaching to knit now. I wouldn't give you some of the items in here. I would give you some of them that are very easy, but there are some that are a bit more complicated, so I would save that for once you've done more knitting. So I've been browsing knitting books again, and I've got lots of ideas, more ideas than ever I'm going to have time to execute. Over here is the other vegetable book. So look, there's beetroot and is that a radish? I don't know what that is. I think it's supposed to be a radish. Mushrooms on the back. I've made quite celery. Look, we've got celery and asparagus. I'm not sure if I should do all of these. Mushrooms, peppers. Look, there we go. All sorts of wonderful things. Courgettes. Now, what I did, the lemon and one or two of the items were supposed to be knitted in the round on 3 or 4 needles. I've never done that. So I thought, I wonder what would happen if I only used 2 needles. And basically what happens is you just have to sew up a seam. There isn't a seam. I mean, although this should have been stocking stitch and I followed it. So I'm wondering if that's why, as you did it a different way, it was garter stitch instead of stocking stitch. And I'm not going to complicate it by telling you what all those stitches are. I know what I mean. And it came out all right. I think it looks all right, don't you? There we go, a lemon. So that's the knitting update. I haven't done a huge amount more. So before I go to bed, I'll probably try and finish the hot dog. And I want to get on with some cakes and some picnic stuff and some more fruit and veg. But let's go. Oh, Laura, I could have looked in the book to know what the date was. When right at the beginning of the broadcast, I couldn't remember what the date was, and I'd already marked the book, so I know I should have known it was the 26th of June, not the 25th. So in my Butterfly Whispers book, this book that I dip into every day to bring you the words of wisdom of Vanessa Louise Moore, it says, do we fully appreciate that our faces can give the game away? Our faces say so much, as does our body language. People tend to treat us the way we say we want to be treated. If we walk about with a frown on our face and our arms crossed. Oh dear, I've dropped my book. Let's see if I can do this. It's not something I do very often. People tend to treat us the way we say we want to be treated. If we walk about with a frown on our face and our arms crossed, we are not going to get too many people smiling and saying hello. Except that I sort of do say hello to people when they're like that, but maybe that's the mischief in me. What message are you giving on your face and in your body language? It really makes a difference in how people treat you. Have an expressive day, or expressive rest of the evening, or expressive day tomorrow. And I can remember years ago, I used to go around with another granny and we used to do some work together. We did a lot of fundraising for the hungry and the homeless in Ryde. And we went on the buses a lot to go and collect up stuff that people had promised to us. And some of the bus drivers back then, I have to say there's been a big change, but back then the bus drivers, some of them were so grumpy. So I got some of those, the chocolate buttons, but Thorntons used to be around. I don't know if are they still around, but they used to be around, and you could buy chocolate buttons with smiles on, and I used to take them and then was very tempted when the bus drivers were grumpy to say, oh, would you like a smile? You don't seem to have one of your own. I didn't get clonked for it, fortunately. But, there were some grumpy people, and sometimes it's nice to try and make them smile. So now, here we are. Look, yes, so smile. I've got my smile book. And that we were smiling, we were laughing a lot last night. You have to watch. If you didn't see last night's broadcast, you need to go back and watch it if you want a real giggle. It started off okay, and then, as I say, it rotated, and I just got a fit of the giggles. I said, well, shall I stop the broadcast and start it again? And I thought, no, because everybody's got into the broadcast. Hi, Janet. Everybody's come into the broadcast, so I'm not going to stop it. So, as I say, I did my broadcast sideways on. Always have a plan B. My plan A never works, so there you go. Sometimes I get down to Z before anything works, but not to worry. So anyway, this is my little book, Smile, and it's got the word smile in glitter. I don't know if you can see if it's glistening on there. Life is not made up of great sacrifices and duties, but of little things in which smiles and kindness given habitually are what win and preserve the heart and secure comfort. Have I got the letter from Leanne? Yes, I have. Oh, are you two connected? Are you related, you two? I hadn't connected you. Sorry. Yes, I did. It came this morning. I said so at the beginning of the broadcast. Look. Here it is, came today. So yes. I didn't realise that, Janet. I didn't realise. Some people come in the broadcast and sometimes I never know how anybody finds me unless we actually have that conversation. So, oh right, there you go. Oh, so I have two from one family in. Whoa, there we go. Anyway, yes, I was saying I've been Googling more knitting books and some lovely ones in here. So I shall be, putting them on my wish list. So wait a minute, hang on, did I? Oh, let's read that one again. Life is not made up of great sacrifices and duties, but of little things in which smiles and kindness given habitually are what win and preserve the heart and secure comfort. And that was a Sir Humphrey Davy back in 1778 to 1829. Love is rarely to be found in extravagant gestures. It is mostly revealed in a quiet word or a gentle smile. And that was Stuart and Linda McFarlane. I don't know who some of these people are, but they've got the names underneath. So that's that one. Let's see. Look, I've got all my little stickers in the top here. And this says, things that make me smile. And obviously it was the author. Let's see. Happy Pictures by Joanna kidney. This is a Helen Exley gift book. There's a whole lot of Helen Exley gift books. It says, smiles are like shafts of sunlight. They're beautiful and bring instant happiness. Who can resist a warm smile, a friendly grin? Give smile to a good friend. It means give the book Smile to a good friend. And I can't remember. I think it might have been one of my children who gave me this. But they haven't. It's not written in, so I'm not quite sure. I think it was. Walking in the country. These are things that make me smile, according to the author. Walking in the country after a shower of snow has fallen makes me smile. Sighting a robin singing happily to himself upon a snowy branch reminds me of other people's happiness too. Bright parcels make me think of all the people who have thought of me and brought gifts for me. Watching a little child undoing a parcel and seeing his eyes light up like little stars when he reveals the gift from its wrapping makes me smile. But I shall remember when it was when Tristan was small, and then when my own grandson was small, they had presents in big cardboard boxes. But you know, although the presents were lovely, they had far more fun with the cardboard boxes. In fact, my grandson, I knitted him a whole Noah's Ark and all the animals. And of course, the animals went in 2 by 2, so there were 2 of all the animals. And he had such fun. He unwrapped it when we were in a big family gathering together. And he just started tossing them around the room. And he got such a, everybody was laughing so much, he just kept on doing it. I think that's the most fun he ever had with the knitted Noah's Ark. And actually, the Noah's Ark pattern, I believe, was by the same lady who's done the book, the 100 toys that I keep showing you. This one, I think it was by her. And so, that was lots of fun. But so there's more books to come by her. I've got to get them all. I've got them on the wish list now, and I'm trying to find them at less than £15 each. So Leanne did the research on those for me before. She found this one for me at £8. And so I'll have to give her the list to Google. I've been Googling myself, and I did find one of them a bit cheaper. So, but I didn't have a lot of time. So anyway, this one is, no one needs a smile quite as much as he who has none to give. And that's by Deborah Jepperson. Learn to greet your friends with a smile. They carry too many frowns in their own hearts to be bothered with yours. And that was Mary Alette Ayer. As I say, I don't know who some of these people are, but I just quote them if it's underneath. When a person is too tired to give you a smile, give them one of yours. And that was author Liz from the Friendship Book of Francis Gay, 2002. And one more out of this book. It is The Human... Whoops. Hang on, let's move the piece of paper. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. And do you ever have those times when a bit like last night, where you laugh too much that you nearly cry? I've seen 1 or 2 things on TV like that, and we've been talking about some of the TV things. I remember one of the Allo Allo episodes, and it was the German guy had his helmet on, and it had a spike on the helmet, and this chicken ended up on his helmet. It doesn't sound very funny when I tell it like that, but I can remember just laughing till I cried and the tears were coming down. It was the way it was done and the way it was said. It was just so hilarious, just amazing. So, I love it when you laugh that much. Anyway, play a trick on your enemy by smiling. This may sound absurd, but I assure you it is true. And I've done this. People who've blocked me on Facebook or decided they don't particularly want to be my friend. I've done that. I don't say it's playing a trick. I just think it's actually doing an act of kindness. This may sound absurd, but I assure you it is true. Just think of the negativity world as an enemy whose strength can be weakened by your smile. And I'm sure it can. You can make a difference by smiling at these people. They might not want you to make a difference, but you can do it. Now, this one, the kindness book, I've got 2 kindness books, but this one is the one I've been reading from, and by the author Jamie Thurston, who set up the charity 52 Lives. And I googled that the other day to find out what that was all about, and what she's done is set up a charity, and with a whole lot of volunteers and a lot of fundraising, they are making a difference to one person's life every week of the year. So that was 52 lives, but I don't think it stopped. I think they keep going on, but it's a global thing. So if a young child needed a wheelchair in where should I say, China or something, for example, they would work to get that there, and then somebody in the UK might need something. So it was quite inspiring. So if you have if you have time, go and have a look at 52 Lives and see what that's all about. And I'm going to read from the back of it. It says, "When kindness is shared, it grows. Unexpected kindness is a powerful thing, and even the simplest of kind acts can have an astonishing effect, because when kindness is shared, it ripples out into the world. Whether giving a kind comment, being a seat vigilante, or going high when others go low, we should choose kindness. After all, it's the little things that matter the most." And today I've got to the chapter that's entitled Seat Vigilante. And so it says, "Sacrificing your seat will help more than one individual. You will be helping to build a healthier, kinder community." And I can remember, I think I've told this story before, but my sister was on the island, and we had to go from Ryde over to Cowes to a meeting. It was some sort of eco-friendly meeting, something like that. And the bus was very full, and I have been told by the doctor not to stand for long, and there were no seats. My sister yelled out. She said, "Isn't anybody going to get up and give my sister a seat?" At which point one of the youngsters did. But sometimes they do. It's amazing, but I've seen the other side of that coin. I've seen people stand up and give an older person their seat, and the older person's got offended and not wanted to take it. So they haven't taken it in the way in which it was given. So I would take it, but fortunately when it was all the festival people were getting on my bus the other day, fortunately I'd been on first, so I actually had a seat and I was sitting down and I was fine. But I'm not supposed to stand for very long, but so the doctor says, so anyway, there we go. I do find it hard to sit down and put my legs up, but I do have a recliner, and I have been sitting in my recliner this afternoon. But every time I get it up, I get into the recliner, and it's quite slow bringing my legs up. And then I think, oh, I've left something on the other side of the room, and then I have to do it down again and then up again. So sometimes it's a bit, but I love it. And my friend Tina gave me that, and I do love it. And I sometimes fall asleep in it, and it's very comfortable. Right, so let's go on with our seat vigilante. If you feel able to stand up for a few stops on your bus or train, you don't need to wait for a disabled, elderly or pregnant person to get on. Try being more conscious of those around you. Be kind to anyone you think might need the seat more than you. There may be a parent with young children, someone carrying heavy bags, or someone who just looks stressed and tired, who will appreciate your kind gesture. How lovely would the world be if we all did this? And then there's a piece underneath. It says it's by David R. Hamilton, PhD, from the 5 Side Effects of Kindness. A town in Pennsylvania called Roseto was put under the microscope after it was found that not a single person in the town under 45 had died of heart disease in 50 years. Scientists descended on the town and eventually figured it out. Close community bonds were causing high levels of oxytocin, a cardio-protecting hormone, to flow, protecting the residents' hearts. It is known as the Roseto effect. So that's interesting, isn't it? So there we go. And the next chapter is called Apologise, but I'm going to apologise for not reading it now. That'll come next time. So there we go. And then I think I might have shown you this recently, but it's an academic diary for 2018 to 2019, and I just thought, as I started doing all this knitting and lots of people giving me orders, and I don't mind having the orders, please don't stop giving me the orders, but I thought that was rather fun. I am very busy, so I think I might be writing all those orders down in my new diary. And then I was going to read, because actually today I was thinking, what on earth am I going to talk about tonight? And seems that I filled up most of the hour without worrying about it, but I didn't think I got anything to talk about. Oh, lovely orange juice. But I recently bought this book, and I bought it with a view to sharing it on broadcast. It's called Lock, Stock and Barrel. It's familiar sayings and their meanings. And it says, why should getting something into apple pie order often lead us to struggle on to the bitter end to avoid letting the cat out of the bag? If the solution had you cudgelling your brains, take it straight from the horse's mouth and discover lock, stock and barrel, why we regularly resort to these and hundreds of familiar sayings. And absorbing A to Z, which gets to the heart of hundreds of commonly used expressions, this collection provides hours of happy browsing as well as rewarding reference on the origins and ancestry of popular phrases and proverbs that crop up in conversation. Easy to read and with useful cross references, Lock, Stock and Barrel won't have you high and dry or flogging a dead horse when you next ask yourself how the dickens something found its way into everyday speech. And it was in a charity shop, and I saw it and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. So I wonder whether you know why we talk about black sheep, somebody being a black sheep of the family as being, you know, the odd one out. Hi, Lisa. So black sheep were regarded as less valuable than white sheep, and to the superstitious in bygone days, they were seen to be carrying the mark of the devil. From this developed the idea of the black sheep as being a disgrace to his or her family or close community. And then what about Bob's your uncle? Bob's not my uncle, Frank's my uncle. Hi, Andrew. So just reading out of Lock, Stock and Barrel, a book that's got some phrases in, and where on earth did these phrases come from? So Bob's your uncle, let's see what it says for that. As an expression of reassurance that things will turn out to your benefit, Bob's your uncle owes its origins to a real-life Bob, the Conservative Prime Minister, Lord Salisbury, whose first name was Robert. During his administration in the late 1880s, his nephew, A.J. Balfour, was rapidly promoted through the cabinet until he made Secretary of State for Ireland. Few could deny that Uncle Bob had served his nephew well. So there we are, that's where Bob's your uncle comes from. And let's see what we've got now. What have I got here next? Cotton on. So, black over Bill's mother. All right. Cotton on is the next one. There may not appear to be an obvious connection between the early days of the textile industry and gaining an understanding of a line of thought, but to cotton on is nevertheless derived from cotton, the fabric. By the 15th century, cotton was established as a verb meaning to provide a nap or to take on a nap, which no doubt arose from the finishing process that produced a nap on cotton cloth. So not a nap like this, but the nap of the fabric. 2 centuries later, cotton had acquired the meaning of to get on with, and by the 19th century it was being used in the sense of to take to. Its present-day meaning of to catch on to an idea or a way of thinking can be seen as an extension of these developments. Right, okay, you think that's a local, because Andrew here is up in Staffordshire. Nice to see you, Andrew, in the broadcast. And then crosspatch. Do you know where crosspatch comes from? Have you ever even thought about it? I must say I've thought about some of these, but had no idea where they came from. I suppose Google, my friend, would have told me, but I found the book in the charity shop, so I didn't need to Google. In the 16th century, a dolt or a fool was called a patch, and crosspatch was a foul-tempered fool. Today, the association with stupidity has largely disappeared, but cross patches remain, especially among tired children. And I do remember that, you know, well, people being called cross patches. There we go. And we just got a few more here before we finish. Getting down to brass tacks. This one was quite interesting. Oops. Oh dear, because I got the windows open, the moths are coming in. In old-fashioned drapers' shops, it was common for cloth to be measured against the shiny heads of brass tacks driven into the counter at even distances apart. Getting down to brass tacks recalls this process of determining precisely what was required. So that was another interesting one. You know, I had no idea where some of these came from. Wait a minute, what's this one? I've missed one. Hang on. one of my markers fell out. Let's have a look and see. What's this one? 19 to the dozen. Here we go. These days, 19 to the dozen is generally used to describe someone who cannot stop talking. Oh, a bit like me. However, the sense of ceaseless activity came into being from the early days of steam engines, notably those used to power pumps in mines. A steam engine going 19 to the dozen was pumping 19,000 gallons of water for every 12 bushels of coal it burnt. Far from describing a somewhat wasteful activity, which may be the case today, it was originally a measure of efficiency. So it's interesting, isn't it, how the usage has changed it over the years. And 19 to the dozen, it doesn't quite mean the same today. Passing the buck. Hi, Catherine. We're looking at some sayings and the meanings. I've got this book called Lock, Stock and Barrel, and it's sayings that have come into the English language. So passing the buck. Passing the buck today means evading responsibility or shifting the blame onto someone else. This was not always the case. When the expression was first used, it was little more than a way of reminding poker players whose turn it was to be dealer of the next hand. In this case, the reminder was a buck, possibly a piece of buckshot, which was passed round the table from one dealer to the next. So there we are. Not the same, obviously, as passing the buck now, which means shifting the blame to somebody else, doesn't it? And umpteen. Do you know where umpteen, the expression umpteen, came from? Umpteen is a very large, though unspecified number, which is of comparatively recent origin, dating from the First World War, when it was coined by army signallers. Umpty was signallers' slang for a dash in Morse code. So a great many dashes became umpteen, borrowing teen from the tens such as 14, 15, 16, 17 and so on. So there we are. That's where umpteen came from. And so that's umpteen things I've read out of the book to you tonight. There's umpteen more to still be read another time. So I'm going to end up the broadcast. I hope that you've all enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Maybe not quite as funny as last night's broadcast, but at least I'm sitting upright and I haven't got a crick in my neck tonight. And those of you who weren't here last night, you missed a lot of laughter. It wasn't deliberate. It wasn't plan A. I had my phone up here as usual. Then I took it from there to show something on the screen. And I must have jigged it or moved, maybe moved it side to side, because as I put it back, it turned itself round. Hi, Sandy. It turned itself round and refused to come the right way up. And so I was wonky on the screen. I was the wrong way round on the screen. So to compensate for it, I did my broadcast lying on my desk like this. And we had a lot of laughter. And I had some fun compliments afterwards by people who enjoyed the serendipitous laughter. It wasn't intended, it just happened. But as I say, my job is to inspire, to educate and to entertain. And if I can do any one of those to any one of you, if I can make a difference to one of you with one of those, my mission is accomplished. So hopefully I have maybe inspired or entertained tonight. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. But there's still some of you here in the broadcast, so maybe something resonated with you or you enjoyed something in the broadcast. Let me know what sort of things you like best. Is it seeing what I get up to with my knitting needles? Do you love the books? Do you like the little books I get? I've got loads and loads of them. Every month I get something new. I go in and I spy them on the shelf. I get all those lovely little books from most of them from number 66. A couple of them came from the Works, and also some of my knitting books came from the Works. Wonderful shop. If you haven't discovered the Works, and I hear that they wanted to come to ride the Works. I know I normally do my shop local, but and I like the small independent shops, but actually the Works in Newport has excellent customer service, lovely, lovely people running the shop. And apparently they wanted to come to ride, and they wanted to go in where the Mountain Warehouse shop was going, and they got pipped at the post, but Mountain Warehouse is not coming. They clearly didn't do their homework. They had it all done up inside, and then they're not coming. And the reason they're not coming is because the rates are too high. Now, wouldn't you have thought that they would actually check that out when they started out? Not a great business process, that one, but there you go. So who knows? Who knows what's coming there? Writing my life story. Oh, right. Okay, hang on. Let me see. It was just a minute. Let me have a look. I think it's... I've got to go and get it. I've moved everything. It's I think it was called Dear Mum. Hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, I got it. Oh. I got so many books around. It was called Dear Mum, From You to Me. You mean the one that this one. I was going to write all my bits and pieces in it. So it was Dear Mum, From Me to You, a journal of a lifetime. They do a lot of different ones like this. The website, let me look it up and see what, the website is From Me to You. So it might be different. I think I've seen it more. Yes, because I bought my daughter one. I bought my daughter one to do for her own children. So let's have a look. From Me to You. Have I spelt it right? No, From You to Me. Oh, hang on. I've done it wrong. From You to Me. From You to Me.com. Let's see if we can get that link. Let's see. Yes. Oh, it's changed and it's gone into journalsofalifetime.com. Gifts for teachers. So there are all sorts of books here. There's diary notebooks. Yes, go on to... I'll drop the link in, Sandy. Let's have a look. I just dropped the link in. Hang on. I got some windows open on the screen. So here we go. I should have an affiliate for these things, shouldn't I? There we go. Yes, so Journals of a Lifetime. So that looks gifts for teachers, personalised gifts, create a new unique and special gift journals, capture life's memories and reflections. There we go. So there's Dear Mum, From You to Me. And let's click on the journals because it will tell us what else. There we go. Lifetime memory journals, a timeless collection. So there's Dear Grandma, Dear Mum, Dear Dad. There's a whole range of them. Dear Granddad. Oh, there's one with the same picture as mine, but Dear Granddad, From You to Me. So there we are. There we are. That's solved presents for lots of people. Oh, Create Space. I don't know Create Space. If I Google it, will I find what it is? Create Space. Look there. Andrew's telling us another thing. This is what's great about the community. We all help each other. Create Space. Oh, here we are. Self-publishing and free distribution for books. Okay. But this one is what I'm going to write it. I don't know if you got that, Andrew. I'm going to write all the things that happen in my life in this, and it's already got the things in here. But I suppose, yes, you could self-publish one of these, couldn't you? But it says, tell me about your best friends as a young child. Describe the occasion when you first met my dad's parents. Oh, I can remember that. And I can tell you now. I was meeting my he was my husband to be, and his mum was making us a meal, and she went to get the pudding, the dessert, out of the oven, and she was making an apple meringue pie. And as she got the apple meringue pie out of the oven, sadly the meringue left the pie. So as she swung round, the meringue went and down onto the floor, and I think she was very embarrassed. We weren't, it didn't matter. We could have a meringue pie without the meringue. That's okay. When I knit mine, I'll make sure I put meringue on it. But so I actually remember that. It's funny, isn't it? Some things you don't remember, but I remember meeting them because of that. So there we are. Tell me about a special piece of music that you and Dad had just for you. And so I've got to, get all those notes. I must start doing that so that my children can have it for later on. Sometimes I ask them, and things that I remember well about their childhood, they don't remember. So it's quite interesting the way our memories work, or don't, as the case may be. Anyway, I've just noticed what the time is. It's very late, and I do value you all coming in. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, if I knit a bit faster, I'll have a few more things in my fruit bowl tomorrow. There we go. I put the vegetables in with the fruit. Is that okay? I wonder. We don't normally, do we? But anyway, it's just there's not enough to go in there yet. So so I'm going to do a bit more knitting before I go to bed. I probably do a little bit more drooling over knitting books online. And then hopefully I will see you all in another broadcast very soon. Thank you so much for coming in. If you're enjoying this, then please share with others. I have got a YouTube channel. I'm putting these all up onto YouTube. I haven't managed to get all the blurb about all of them in every one, but I started trying to catch up with that yesterday, because if any of you are using YouTube or know anybody else who is, when you've uploaded your video to YouTube, that piece underneath it is real estate. That is where you put all your advertising. And you know, I haven't been good at doing that myself. So yesterday I was putting all my links in and trying to put a commentary of what some of the videos about. I do have over 600 videos in my YouTube channel. Fortunately I haven't got 600 to put the information into. It's more the recent ones, because I've been live streaming sometimes more than once a day. If I'm not home to upload them lots, then they don't, they don't get uploaded quickly enough. But I'm on the catch up now. So YouTube, my YouTube channel is my name. So go into YouTube and put my name in, and it's one N, Lyn Blackledge. Black as the colour and ledge as a shelf is how I say it. So anyway, that's if you want to see me on YouTube. I would love to get some more subscribers, but those are the videos that have been in here. But if you want to go back and see how awful I was in the early days of videoing, and that's always fun. I can remember, just before I go, I can remember in 2010 when I was presented with this award. Somebody stuck a video camera in my face and asked me to talk about it, and oh my goodness, I was like a scared rabbit in the headlights. And you know, that still exists. I will find that clip. It exists on YouTube somewhere, and I will find it and show you, because I'm always telling people to, push the damn button and go live. But if you want to see how scared I was, before I'd started doing videos, that would be, I just looked like a scared rabbit in the headlights. But, practice makes perfect. Well, not perfect. My dad would never give 10 out of 10, as I say. It's not about perfect, but it's near, getting better and as near perfect as it can be. Anyway, thank you all. Love you all lots. See you all again soon. Bye for now. Hi, Daniel. Sorry, we're just leaving now.